From Fernwood Resort and Country Club here in Bushkill, Pennsylvania, Jumbo Cash and Carry proudly presents Heavyweight Explosion and is being promoted by Fisticuff Productions. Is approved by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission, the Honorable Charles Chuck Bednarik, Commissioner, the Honorable Howard E. McCall, Chairman, the Honorable Greg Serb, Executive Director. The physicians in attendance at ringside this afternoon, Dr. Frank Romaskavich and Dr. Walter Newman. Our judges, Bill Flasser, Jackie Castellani, and Bill Nealon. The timekeeper to bail is Bill Reese, counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee John Carroll. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of this scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout, referee John McHale. And our boxing fans, introducing the principals. First in the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with the white and black trim. He weighed in at an even 255 pounds. He has 27 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw with 19 knockouts. From Chicago, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, here is mighty Mike Evans. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the purple trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at an even 215 pounds. This young man is undefeated in 13 pro bouts with 12 knockouts. From Donora, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, here is Gary, the Bull Winmon.
As these two heavyweights get ready to square off, looking at some of the numbers, certainly the older Mike Evans at 34, the only 22 for Winmon, and a slight reach advantage for Evans, and he'll have to have that to keep Winmon off of him as he'll try to attack him. The rules that'll govern our fight here in Pennsylvania, the 10-point must system, a standing 8 count in effect, 3 knockdown rule will also be in effect. It can be saved with the bell only the last round, and the doctor and the referee can also once again stop the fight. This is our heavyweight explosion, and we start right out with Gary Winmon in the purple with the red trunks belong to Mike Evans. Evans again from Chicago. Weighed in at 255, 215 for Winmon. So we'll find out how much that weight disadvantage will play a role either against Evans or maybe for him when he starts trying to sit out on some punches inside.
The Bull Winmon he needs to get established here in the first round, Sam. He can't just let Mike Evans just walk right through him. And Mike Evans got all the experience, and he's dry as a bone here to start this fight off. But being the experienced fighter, I don't think it'll affect him as much as the young kid, Gary Winmon.
Gary only 22 years of age, 6'2½", so there's no height advantage to speak of by either fighter. Reach advantage, again, only 3 inches for Evans. But he will have a moving target to try to catch up with today, it appears. That's one of the places that Winmon does not want to be, and that's in the corner or against the ropes.
Gary, he's a completely untested fighter. The strongest points about him is the fact that he's got J.J. Johnson very high on him, and J.J.'s not the kind of a trainer that talks about fighters just because he's involved with them. This kid's, not had a lot of amateur experience, wasn't a big, highly touted guy like a Shannon Briggs. And they're just carving out a niche for him, but J.J. assures me that the kid's got a fighter's heart, and Mike Evans is going to give us some demonstration of that one way or another today.
Well, he certainly is well aware of a big right hook thrown by Evans, because watch as Winmon leads with the left jab and then quickly snaps it back and kind of protects the left side of his face, as he knows that Evans is very capable of knocking him out with one punch, that right hook.
The thing about Mike Evans' extra weight here, his work rate might be less. What he's got to do early in this fight, he's got to press this kid. He's got to, and he is moving. Winmon is moving around and exerting himself, not wanting to lay in with a strong Mike Evans. But he's got to take him out into those deep waters, those untested territories that he's never been in before. And even if he doesn't land a big shot early in the fight, just making him move around.
He gets a couple of right hand hands, does Evans. Out of a wake-up call for Winmon. He comes right back in with a pretty good combination of his own. Downstairs, upstairs. Good job by the youngster from Donora, Pennsylvania. You see him trying to punch out of the corner with a left jab. 13-0 for Winmon so far. 12 of those have come by knockouts.
But this is a big step up for him in the level of competition here. You know, it's more of a case of who did he knock out.
Closing seconds of round one. He calls himself the Bull, does Winmon. But right now, Mighty Mike is doing some fighting of his own. Good look at 34-year-old Mike Evans as he goes back to his corner. 27-7-1 his record. And of course, with 19 of his wins coming by knockouts, he possesses with 255 pounds, Bob, a lot of sit-down power when he decides to start sitting down on that punch. That's one thing Winmon must watch out for today.
No, he really has to. You know, the whole question about Gary Winmon is, can he keep this up? Can he move like this and step and punch for 10 rounds against Mike Evans? Because if nothing else, Mike Evans is a very durable, big, tough guy. Everyone's assuming that Winman's going to get tired because he's never even gone a top 6 or an 8, let alone 10 rounds.
By the way, Winmon over in his far corner, Bruce Sheldon is the man that really started working out here at Fernwood Resort in the Poconos, and he is just to his left to give you some words of encouragement as they head to round number 2. Second round of this heavyweight explosion, heavyweight 10-rounder. Winmon on the left with the purple trunks against the red of Mike Evans. Winmon again, along with Evans, both in the feeling out process. Bob, fairly even round in round one, and I think both of us scored it that way.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone really did anything to control in the first round. Evans followed him around, but Gary Winmon, he's showing a good set of wheels here. He's obviously a nice, big, strong kid, good athletic ability, and he's going to get tested today. And you know, really in this fight, if it was handicapped, he'd have to be about a 2-1 underdog in this fight. But JJ's got a lot of confidence in him, and he's feeling like this moving around that he's doing is going to get Mike Evans' old legs tired, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't feel like he's running from this guy. He's just taking advantage of the young, fresh legs of his fighter.
Let's go.
There you see Evans trying to load up that big right hand, and he nipped that off the shoulder of Winmon, who dove inside trying to land some body punches. And there he gets caught with a left hook on the way out of a combination.
Counter hook by Evans landed.
Pretty nice punch. By the way, the people here in the Poconos at the Fernwood on this same card is a gentleman by the name of Danny Blake. Blake is the only man who has gone the distance with Gary Winmon. All the other opponents have fallen by knockout route.
The difference between Danny Blake and a Mike Evans is the fact that, you know, Danny's going and trying to survive, and that's what he did with Winmon in their fight, and, you know, he extended him the 8 rounds, but you know, Mike Evans is going to be in there trying to hurt this kid, and that's a big difference.
Winmon had 7 first-round knockouts, but could not get Evans out on this one. He's had a single knockout in the second round and 2 in the third of his 12 knockouts that he's had so far in his career. The other came in round number 4, and 2 more in round 3.
Nice jab by the Bull Winmon. And a good hook to the body underneath. But he doesn't want to lay inside with Mike Evans, and he doesn't want Mike resting on him and leaning on him. You can see that he's well prepared for this fight.
Certainly doesn't want Evans inside at 255 pounds, and certainly doesn't want to have his back to the ropes anywhere along the way.
Okay, clean.
Third man of the ring, John McHale. Seems like he's in fairly good control of the fight so far as they exchange in the center of the ring.
Push out.
Evans with a fairly good combination, answered nicely, thinking by Winmon. And here comes Evans back with the right hand. Left combination, the left duck to the body.
Mike turning up the heat a little bit.
He's doing it just before he gets a rest as we near the end of round number 2. And Mike Evans has indeed turned it up as he's now challenging the young man.
Okay.
Both fighters earning a 1-minute rest after a very solid second
About a
round.
nice round of applause for the very charming Becky. This is Becky.
The end of round number 2 and landed what looks like to be a very solid right hand that he threw on Winmon in that first round. That definitely is a big weapon that Big Mike will be thinking about over in his corner here.
Mike picked a few spots in that second round to try some combinations on the bull, Gary Winmon. But I mean, I had him winning the round fairly clearly. But he's just trying to set some things up for later on. He didn't really have the death on that big right hand that Mike usually tries to load up with it.
Well, some of the early damage done by Mike Evans, and this is where he probably won the round. You see the left hook. And then he follows it right in behind that, going to the body, and did a good job going to the right hand
They have
as well.
more to the chest than the head.
As he's ready to answer the bell for round 3. Does he have enough to keep it going? We'll find out. Jumbo Cash and Carry and all of our fine sponsors along the way on our worldwide network welcome you back once again to the Fernwood Resort here in Bushkill, Pennsylvania, and the beautiful Poconos. Sam Smith along with Bob Spagnola, our heavyweight explosion with Gary Winmon on the, well, with his back to you now to the left in the purple trunks, and Mike Evans in the red. Evans with a solid 10-9 second round on our unofficial cards. And comes out, and you can see the boxing skills of Winmon trying to keep the big guy off of him here.
Yeah, you know, Winman's been a banger up to this point, a guy that's just going in and pulled over his opposition. He barely, you know, got out of the way of that combination by Mike Evans. But he's boxing here today, and he seems very confident in his conditioning. He's bouncing around. He's not sparing any energy. A lot of times when a guy's in there and he thinks he's going to go distance, he tries to conserve everywhere from the warm-ups right on through into the bout. And he seems very confident in his conditioning level here, and he needs to move Mike Evans around here and not let Mike just rest and pick his spots as he did in the second round. You know, throw a couple combinations and win the round.
You know, Bob, you made mention of a limited amateur career for Winmon. He fought only 11 amateur fights, good enough, however, to win the Pittsburgh Golden Gloves and also the Virginia State Golden Gloves champion. But again, very limited in the amateur ring. And now he's, as a pro, is 13-0 with 12 knockouts. And against a tough customer, Mike Evans today.
But you see a lot of things about a fighter, Sam, early on. You know, his willingness. You know, his good athletic skills here. You know, making a guy like a veteran like Mike Evans waste those punches there, shift his weight, and then good work down to the body. You know, he's got to be willing to work and rip those body shots on Mike Evans and not just get out of there wholesale whenever, you know, the referee breaks him. He picked his shots and he got off on the inside. It's a good round for Gary Winmon.
But typically, considering Bob is coming off possibly losing a round to Evans, who fought well near the end of round 2.
A right hand up on the forehead of Mike Evans by Winmon got his attention there a little bit. He's got to pick up the pace here and not let Mike, you know, set a pace and, like I said before, just throw 2 combinations around and win it with that.
Saw one flaw of Winmon just a moment ago. He threw the good combination of the overhand right, and then he just stood in there with it, giving Evans plenty of time to counter. Evans did not, but Winmon might have dodged the bullet there. Let's watch and see if that continues.
Good straight right hand by Winmon there, and then he ties him up on the inside. You can even see the way he ties him up over the top of his head. That's not really the way you want to do it. You leave 2 fresh, free hands for Mike Evans, but Mike chose not to work in there.
Mike would love for this to be a chest-to-chest confrontation. That is exactly what Gary Winmon cannot afford to do here today, as he's in quest of his 14th win as a young 22-year-old pro on our heavyweight explosion. Well, here in the Poconos, they've come from, of course, New York and all across Pennsylvania, New Jersey to watch the boxing program this afternoon. And both these heavyweights, including this young man, Gary Winmon, has given him a pretty good show as they try to get him pretty much what he needs to do. You're fighting a big, strong puncher. You're fighting a guy that weighs 255 pounds. You can't let him lean on him. So quite a bit of strategy going on in that corner, Bob.
Right, you can have a lot of strategy, but with a young fighter, it's, you know, can he put that strategy into effect? This is a great area for boxing here at the Fernwood Casino. You know, from Scranton to Allentown and Bethlehem, the coal mining regions years ago was a big fight area. And they're taking advantage of some of those old-time fans.
The jab is right here. When it's here, it takes everything off his right hand. Then you work. Now inside, throw 2 or 3 punches up the middle. They don't have to be hard. Just throw something there.
Well, attention, getters, exactly what they're asking for Evans as we head for the next round. Heavyweight explosion reaches round number 4, the scheduled 10 round, one of our co-features today on the program. As Winmon in the purple, very active fighter against Mike Evans in the red. He wants to be the pursuer. He's going to have to catch that moving target again here in the 4th round, though.
I had Winmon turning the fight around in the third round. I've got it dead even. You know, he made Mike Evans step. Oh, big right hand over the top by Gary Winmon. Mike Evans is a very durable fighter. He's been in there with big punches and solid punches. Gary Winmon probably isn't going to hurt him with one punch here, but he's trying to get some measure of respect from the old man, and I think he's doing a good job of doing that right now, Sam.
Well, Evans, you mentioned with a great deal of experience, won the IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship from Leroy Murphy. That was fought over in England. They went 12 grueling rounds, and that was back in August of 1991. You see how he can brawl and maul, and the youngster taking the brunt of the punishment right now as Winmon gets trapped on the ropes. One of the losses to Mike Evans, for Mike Evans, has been to that of the South African heavyweight champion, losing in 10 rounds to Corey Sanders, who was one of our highlight fighters on last week's heavyweight explosion. And of course, Corey Sanders will be on our cards later on as our heavyweight explosion comes up for you all over the world.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing a lot of Corey Sanders, and a lot of people will be aware of that. Mike Evans was one of the tests for Corey early on, and an excellent match for an up-and-coming heavyweight, just like he's being tested. Winmon's being tested by Evans right here. Evans has picked it up.
You saw Winmon kind of look away to his corner almost to kind of say, okay, I hear the instructions, I'm trying. But you don't let me do what I want to do here.
See, Mike has picked up his work rate in this round, and as long as he does that, he's probably going to be in charge here. The last round he took off and he was just looking for a single shot, and Winmon won the round. But Mike is really pressing Gary Winmon in this round.
Well, Evans is the one, even though Winmon is called the bull. It's Evans who's bulling his way around the ring here in round 4. Winmon has been trying to be active and get off first, but Evans is not allowed to do so. 45 seconds before the end of another good round by Mike Evans. Winmon is almost to the point of just pawing with the jab right now.
Pawing with that jab and then making sure he gets out of the way of what Mike Evans counters with. But Mike's mouth is wide open, and can he keep up this pace? Can he press this Gary Winmon? But right now what we got is good ebb and flow in a heavyweight fight. Both guys trying to do their thing. Nothing on that left hook by the pole Winmon as Evans works his way inside.
So a hectic fourth round. The crowd starting to warm up. Glad to have you on the heavyweight explosion today.
Going out of here.
Gary Winmon going to his corner, and I'm sure the first thing they'll say is, how come you couldn't do what you wanted to do the last round? That was not going to be the case because Mike Evans was so active in that round. As a matter of fact, on your scorecard, picked up the win in round number 4. They're trying to get the attention. Let's slip into that corner if we can.
All you gotta do is box. Get your jab going. Get it behind the body. Don't stand there.
The other corner with Mike Evans.
Work it back. Balance and we go this way.
Inside, that's what you got to do, is just try to keep pushing them
So
up.
they apparently liked what Evans did in the last round, and they said keep on keeping on as we head for the 5th. Round number 5, heavyweight explosion. Gary Winmon along with Mike Evans. Out of that last round, there was a solid punch thrown here. And you can see it in the replay. You saw Winmon coming inside and Evans answering with a punch of his own. Back to live action here in round 5.
Winmon
Switch
continues
there.
to box.
Dan Shoemaker, our producer, and Skip Hill, our director, working on our heavyweight explosion today. Evans. One of the key factors, Bob, is he going to slow down? You said, can he keep up that hectic pace? This is going to be a telltale round to tell us that.
No, exactly. You know, he took, he stepped it up in the second round, which he won, and then he took off the third and allowed the bull Winmon to come back in. And let's see if Mike continues to move the low blow there Evans is going for. But, you know, can he press this kid continuously? If he can, he's going to run him out of gas. But if he can't, he's going to be in trouble. That's the ebb and flow of this fight right here. This round starts off very strong for Gary Winmon. Boxing from the outside.
Couple of minutes to go here in round number 5. By the way, when you get a good close-up look of Gary Winmon, who scores underneath, he has a little lazy left eye. He has a little nerve nerve damage in the left eye. It looks like it might be either closing, but that's the way a left eye is all the time. And there's no problem from this fight anyway. It's just a normality, or it's something he's having to live through since childhood there for Gary Winmon.
Otherwise, a very big, good-looking, solid kid, is Gary Winmon. This round, he looks very good. He's landing shots from the outside. Mike Evans is following him around the ring.
There's Evans winding up that big right hand again. You know, Winmon seems to be throwing every punch, Bob. Correct me if I'm wrong. He seems to be throwing it at the chest of Evans. Every time he throws the left-right, it's kind of like at the chest rather than on target. It's almost to say, this is what I've got, and I'm going to land it in a minute. Hasn't been able to throw it on target yet. Maybe that's the feeling out process still, even though we're in the 5th round.
He's green as the grass, Gary Winmon is, but at the same time, you can see just his natural athletic ability and the coaching that he's had from J.J. Johnson, and you see Sam Solomon in the ring. He's definitely willing, and that's a good step. You know, if you don't have that, all the athletic ability and experience in the world, you're going nowhere.
Half a minute, just a little over that to end round number 5. Evans has tried to stay as active as he did in the previous round, but Winmon was even more active, staying on his body, running away from Evans, forcing him to chase him around this ring. You see Evans still has the heart and the will to throw those punches, but both of those glancing off as they roar inside, and that is not where Gary Winmon wants to fight.
No, but he's got to get some respect. He can't just let Evans, he can't just run for 10 rounds from Mike Evans. He's got to get some respect there and be willing to step in.
Jumbo Cash and Carry, our major sponsor for those of you around the world, here from the Fernwood Resort. As you take an overhead camera view of this ring, and of course to the top of the screen, that would be, of course, Evans, and to the bottom, that would be Winmon as they work in their corners and try to get themselves ready for a further round. Let's go into Mike Evans' corner. Evans' main thing there has to be just more or less conditioning in this fight, doesn't it, Bob? More so than strategy.
Back of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got the experience, and if you can set the pace of a fighter, a pro like Mike Evans could fight 30, 40 rounds as long as he's, you know, but this guy's not accommodating him. He's moving around, he's making him move and making him use those legs.
Neither one of the corners impeding anything different than we've seen before. You can see just that slap of the face over there for Winmon as they try to get him involved for round 6. Heavyweight explosion here enters round number 6. It's Gary Winmon. He's a young man in the purple trunks against Mike Evans in the red as we fight at the Fernwood Resort. Fernwood having hosted formerly 10 championship battles here. James Toney, the IBF super middleweight of one of the cards, and a former champion, Prince Charles Williams, also fighting here at the Fernwood on ESPN, one of the national cable boxing shows. So they are starting to come into prominence again here in the Poconos of Pennsylvania.
Good start to this round. Both guys feel like they got to try to take control of this thing, and you know, Mike Evans is trying to counterpunch Gary the Bull Winmon. Winman's trying to box from the outside, but at least Mike is pulling the trigger when he sees his opening here, rather than just follow Gary Winmon around the ring.
You know, Evans slowly but surely, Bob, is also doing another thing subtly in this fight. He's starting to cut the ring a little bit more. When Winmon starts to go to a corner, Evans is able to move sideways. He's able to cut him off. That time he slipped out of it. He was right in the middle of the ring. Watch when he gets into a corner. Watch how well Evans does this.
Yeah, Mike's got the experience. He just got to move his feet. You know, he's, you know, obviously you see him missing a shot there and then coming back with a low blow, which I think the referee's about to warn him for here.
Referee John McHale. There's Winmon. As Evans just wades in without throwing punches, Winmon makes him pay.
Winman's got he's throwing more punches here, but Mike's punches got more on him.
Okay, clean.
I mentioned Mike Evans lost to the South African heavyweight champion Corey Sanders. 2 losses to Tony Tucker back in 1989, and in 84, way back early in his career. Lost a pretty tough fight to Tyrell Biggs as well. So he's been in with some good fighters and has put together this 27-7-1 record with 19 knockouts for Mike Evans, known as Mighty Mike.
Yeah, Mike really relaxed when he lost his Intercontinental title. He was stripped of it because he lost to Marshall Tillman in a 10-round fight down in New Orleans. They took a fight that they thought was easy, and they got beat down there by the quick-handed Marshall Tillman, who moved around the ring, and Mike was about 260 pounds that night. And, you know, the same thing here. He's got to, you know, he just can't, he's moving his feet now. He's following Gary Winmon around, but he's not so busy with his hands as Winmon is. He's landing the harder shots, but Winman's landing more of them. This is a close fight in this round, the closest round in this fight. Excuse me.
The one way Winmon does not want to circle is to his left. That would be right into the powerful right hand of Mike Evans, as Evans tries to use that 255 pounds just to lean on Winmon near the end of round number 6. So the war continues of the heavyweight explosion. Winmon against Evans from the Poconos.
Great learning experience.
Let's follow Mike Evans over in his corner and see if there's any conversation going on as they get him sponged down. Mostly just a conditioning or lack thereof with Evans here early on.
You got to do the same thing with no pressure this round. Slip and punch.
Mike, let's work
You
those
hit it, but you're
hands.
too close to follow through. Give yourself about 4 inches where you can
Let's go.
bring the hands back
See
close
that
to
Mike
you.
Evans is getting not only instruction in one ear, but also from down on the apron as well. As from long range, they work on Evans across the way. More concentrated effort. Also working on that right glove, which is taken.
Yeah, especially left hand up the middle. All right, I'll get it good next round,
Very
Rick.
calm corner there. Very calm corner with JJ and Gary the Bull Winmon.
They've spotted one of the weapons they're going to work on coming up in round 7. They're scheduled to fight 10. They are now reaching round number 7 of this heavyweight explosion fight. And Gary Winmon, undefeated in 13 fights, goes right back to work. One of the advice coming out of the corner was try to use something up the middle. We're either going to look for an uppercut or some straight left-right hands. So let's see if he can get it inside on Mike Evans here in this round.
The thought from Evans is people that Gary Winmon was going to fade later in this fight. I don't think it's been borne out here at all. You know, Mike might be the one that's fading a little bit because, you know, he's really got it. This fight, I've got it dead even at this stage. There's been a lot of ebb and flow, but you can see Gary Winmon using some nice lateral movement back and forth, not moving in the same direction all the time, leaving Mike. I mean, he's making Mike look bad, and you know, Mike's really got to be the one to make something happen here and not let Gary Winmon stand on the outside like he's doing right now and pick up those little points with the left jab and the right hand of the body that he's been successful with.
You know, Mike almost has to come to a fact here, Bob. He's got to become I know he's not normally known as a dirty fighter, but he's got to get with some elbows. He's got to trap him on the ropes. He's got to do some little things to try to get himself inside to do some damage on Winmon.
You're exactly right, Sam. He's got so much experience. You know, he's got that. He knows how to fight on the inside. And Gary Winmon really doesn't. Mike Evans knows how to hold and to hit while he's holding, and Gary really doesn't. He's getting a wealth of experience in here tonight, like on-the-job training. But at the same time, Mike's not taking advantage of his opportunities to use that experience, and he's got this kid boxing nicely from the outside right now.
You see Evans trying to force his way inside. You saw him a moment ago. Use the elbows to trap Winmon on the ropes. But Gary becomes an elusive target once again and pop-shotting from the outside.
And he never lets Mike get set, you know, which is a mark of an experienced fighter. See, he doesn't know how to hold him right here. He's got his hands wrapped over the top of Mike's head, and Mike should be ripping him underneath at that time, but he's resting in there instead. There's another little low blow by Mike Evans. He's gotten away with a little of that here.
Evans gets away with the brawling on the inside. He, by nature, is a wrestler coming out of high school and college, turn boxer, and so he's able to grapple with you inside and, of course, throw some punches along the way. Winmon seems unaffected by what's going on the ropes right now. That tape of the right glove is starting to come loose again. They may have to stop action.
Big left hook by Mike Evans there. His best punch, and he falls with a right hand.
After a right, he comes back with a left hook and scored again. Winmon did not look like he was shaking, but he's taking some punishment right now. He's got another good right hand. Evans is teeing off on him. Winmon is trying to counter. And now the referee, John McHale, really looked in the eyes of Gary Winmon. Now the corner is screaming to stop it for the tape, and they're going to give Winmon a a little breather here because he was in trouble, and the tape is going to force a stoppage of the fight momentarily. This is a break for Gary Winmon. You saw the tape come free just before Evans started teeing off on him. They tore the tape off, and now they go right back to work.
They didn't fix that tape at all. I really don't know this referee.
And there's the bell to end a hectic 7th round. So what turned out to be a late finish for Mike Evans turned also out to be one of his solid rounds. And a tape problem with the right glove could have very easily saved that is, Gary Winmon across the way.
This is when we're going to find out what we got with Gary Winmon right now, how he comes out in this next round. You know, he got hurt there, he got roughed up, and got the cleanest shots landed on him of the entire fight. He's got to come back for this. Plus, he lost the round in an even fight, so he's got to come back and reestablish himself. And there we see him getting pummeled on the ropes, but he comes right back fighting, Sam.
That was
certainly willing.
That was a little surprise. Look at these punches he takes here. And then just also on automatic, he comes back and throws some of his own. That was a big
Surprise, Mike Evans.
You know, Evans is saying, wait a minute, you were in trouble, now here you are all over me. So we'll be interested to find out what happens in round number 8. They're scheduled to go 10, and now a gut check for Gary Winmon, the young man in the purple trunks, because Evans clearly hurt him at the end of round number 7.
But can Mike Evans step up and he's got to keep up the pace that he set at the second half of the 7th round for the next few rounds of this fight with this Gary Winmon. Winmon showed even after getting hit with the best combination of the fight that he's certainly willing. He came right back fighting Mike Evans.
Evans slowly but surely starting to stalk closer and closer to get off the shots he wants. Winmon runs away from a rather weak left hand.
Mike Evans seems like he's in slow motion. That lactic acid was built up in his arms in the last round, and he's got to shake that out of there.
Winmon, again, a bleeding nose. There is no cuts around the eye. There looked like there was a little puffiness on the outside of the left eye. There's no problem there. But he clearly got whacked in that 7th round by Mike Evans.
And J.J. Johnson's telling him, just work your jab, son. Just work that jab. And that's just what he's doing. Mike Evans tries to land the big left hook that got it started for him in the last round.
Bob, both corners have to be cognizant of the fact that this is a close fight. But the fact to get Winmon kind of his legs under him and get back in the fight himself mentally as much as anything, you're right on. I think he just has to do a little boxing style here to keep Evans off the top of him.
Yeah, there's really no time for him to take a round off at this stage and, you know, get his faculties behind him. But I think he had it. I mean, he was hurt with a combination, but he fired back at the end of the round, and I think it was just a thing of, Mike, those are your shots you got in, now I'm going to get some of mine. And he's winning this round. He's winning this round. Mike's being very economical with his punches, and Gary gets off a good one, too. But he's looking for one punch, and he missed the big left hook there that really had some bad intentions on it.
Winmon, after they came off that break, almost had one of those relief looks on his face because he knew that he just dodged away from another big right hook by Evans. Just got out of the way in time.
But Mike is throwing his punches in slow motion right now. He's tired from the last round because he exerted a lot of energy. And look at Gary Winmon moving his legs, taking these steps. Every time Mike Evans gets set in front of him, he takes a step and moves out of there. He's doing a heck of a job here coming back from that tough last round. Doing all the punching here, Sam. Gary the Bull Winmon.
Well, if you like our co-feature, you're going to love Buster Magnus against Levi Phillips on main event. A heavyweight explosion as they rumble here in the Poconos.
Mike Evans, mouth wide open here, sucking for air.
You see him loading up. He just wants to throw the one big punch and get out of here. Closing seconds of round number 8, so Gary Winmon has successfully weathered the storm as he heads for the 9th round. Mike Evans, a successful round again, but not as successful as he had hoped, particularly after what he had done to to Winmon early on. But Big Mike, as you pointed out, really sucking some air here in the heat of the Poconos. Evans again with another good combination, but he's throwing some major league punches here at Winmon.
Yeah, Gary did the walk away here, which he's been doing successfully here in the fight, and but this time Mike Evans saw the opportunity, trapped him on the ropes, and really this is the only meaningful combination Evans landed in that round, which was otherwise very strong for Winmon. See him turning his back on him here, and Mike caught him on the ropes and really didn't land too much there. There was a decent fight.
Doing the walk away, I guess that's something like achy breaky heart or something.
Yeah, that was made famous by Tommy Morrison in the George Foreman fight.
This is round 9 of a scheduled 10-rounder. Winmon has successfully recovered a bit as we head for the 9th round, but again, Mike Evans possesses the big punch to turn this fight around again in a hurry.
I've got the fight dead even at this stage. You know, Winman's, starting off this round as he did in the last one, getting off a lot of punches, scoring. But, the harder punches have been landed by Mike Evans, but they're few and far between. And you don't know what the judges like here. Do they like the work rate of Winmon and the nice boxing, or do they like the big shots of Mike Evans?
Now with a close fight, Bob, obviously you just explained what the judges might like. What does Winmon do to pick up the pace or try to get bigger punches, or what's he trying to do in this round? Careful, I mean,
he's boxing. But the thing he's got to do to beat Mike Evans is box, but he can't just make Mike Evans miss and stay on the outside. He's got to land some clean shots. His jab has been successful, but he's got to come across with the right hand. He's got to land some clean shots here, maybe snap Mike Evans' head back a little bit and win these last 2 rounds and win this fight. Evans, on the other hand, look at him. He's just not pulling the trigger. He's looking for one punch, but watch his work rate. It's just not there. But when he does, when he makes himself fight, he lands clean shots. See, he cuts the ring off, he traps Gary Winmon in the corner, and then Winmon takes a step around, and Mike tries to get settled. There's a good, solid left jab by Mike Evans.
Winmon clearly in trouble in the 7th round. Gamely came out, finished the 7th round on top of one thing with a flurry that got Evans off the top of him. Came out in the 8th, went back to his boxing skills and stayed away from Evans. And for the most part, that's what he's doing here in round 9, trying to impress the judges with his activity. And now he has a cut over the eye. Yeah, the left eye, the right eye has now been cut. And now John McHale wants to take a look at it as he breaks him away.
I didn't see what caused that. I mean, Mike Evans hasn't landed a punch in this round, so I find it hard to believe that it was a punch that caused that, but I didn't see it.
It is just under the eyebrow. It looks like it's towards the eyelid. As a big punch by Mike Evans trying to finish it here tonight. Winmon runs out of there.
He really didn't have much out of that. He bum rushed him and trapped him on the ropes, but he didn't really land anything meaningful on Gary Winmon, who's having a very good round.
And now I think they're going to come to the sideline again, and they're going to retake that glove for still another time. Or are they going to let the doctor look? No, it's tape. So again, Winmon, who was probably saved in the 7th round by tape on the glove after he'd been pretty well almost knocked to the floor, again has another stoppage here in the 9th round.
Mike Evans should have been in that corner taking some large risks.
Left hand right hand.
He hurt Gary Winmon.
Control again. Winmon's on his way down. He's out. Mike Evans with a big right combination. Winmon is struggling to get to his feet. He's wobbling. John McHale.
He doesn't have the experience.
Now it's over. A 9th round knockout by Mike Evans. As Winmon defeated Gary Winmon. What a fight by Mike Evans. Again, he did exactly, Bob, what he needed to do, and that was load up and throw the big lumber.
When they had Gary Winmon in the corner fixing his glove, Mike Evans rested himself and went out there and then tried to finish him and landed a couple clean shots and got the job done.
Bob, let's take a look at the end of this fight coming up in round number 9. And this is the end. It started with the left hand, and there's the right off the temple. That started him reeling back, but Bob, look at the punches that followed here. There's the one over the top with the right hand. Then he catches him with a left hook going all the way down, and then he lands right on the side of his face. And that, more than anything, is what convinced John McHale, the referee, that this fight was over. Here he comes, and down he goes. Oh, my. Mike Evans, exactly what he needed to do. He comes up and gets it here tonight and gets a knockout. And let's go to Ed Darian with the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Referee John McHale stops this bout at 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the 9th round, and a winner by a TKO, Mighty Mike Evans.
Well, Mike Evans again, a TKO winner here, as he comes up with a chance to get a victory, but Gary Winmon was the man that was in front of him, and Winmon goes down in a heap. Again, it was Mike Evans who was going to throw the big punches to try to put him away, and Winmon walked right into it. A right-left combination, and then finally a left hook was the one that finished him off. And a good look at Gary Winmon as, again, he's sitting on the stool. The doctors have already been in the corner, and more than anything else, he's disappointed it has to certainly end after winning 13 consecutive wins. Let's go upstairs as Bob Spagnola is in the ring and will be trying to get Mike Evans free. Here in just a moment, here is again Gary Winmon, again getting towed down across the way. Disappointment running through his mind and thoughts. Right now, here's Bob Spagnola with Mike Evans. Bob?
I'm here with Big E, Mike Evans, after a 9th round TKO over very game Gary Winmon. How do you feel, Mike?
I feel good. I feel real good. A little stale because I haven't fought in about 8 months. So I feel a little stale, but, you know, it came in and it worked out real good for me.
Okay, here he's congratulated by Gary Winmon, who gave a real good account of himself in here. Mike, I mean, you really got to get your conditioning level better to you know, a young heavyweight like this. He was moving around on you, trying to work those old legs. But this will give you a good opportunity to get back in the gym and get that weight down.
Yeah, what happened is I was training for fights that fell out, so I got kind of tired and frustrated. The time I kicked back and rested, they called me to fight him, and so I had about a month to kick back in shape, and I had to lose quite a bit of weight. So I know now that how to stay ready from now on, you know, to fight. But this time it was quick. I was growing out of training for a while, and so a lot of things had to get put in place for this fight here.
Right, but it was a great opportunity for you, and we hope to see you back on the heavyweight explosion.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I want to thank Cedric Christian for giving me the opportunity on the fought for him rumors of times, and it's been a great relationship, and I thank him for that, for the opportunity.
Okay, great fight. Back to you, Sam.